All right, welcome everyone. It's good to see people sitting around tables again, enjoying conversation over a meal after a 2+ year pandemic hiatus. Thanks to the 75th Anniversary Committee for its hard work and the excellent preparation of last night's fine and fitting tribute to the show. The Sisterhood and Men's Club is pleased to sponsor, due wholly to your dues payments, today's brunch in celebration of ourselves as the main auxiliary organizations of Temple Beth Shalom. The creation of synagogue auxiliary groups, such as sisterhoods and men's clubs, has been innovative and central to strengthening American synagogue life. The origin of sisterhoods within the structure of synagogues first emerged in the early 1900s in Reformed temples. Middle and upper class Jewish married women had increasing amounts of leisure time, and it was culturally not befitting for the wife of a successful businessman to work for a salary. So early sisterhoods engaged in what would gradually become the field of social work, assisting the households of immigrant working poor. As temple volunteers, sisterhoods became more and more popular and effective, and roles for leadership arose within the temple base of core activities. Sisterhood leaders assisted in Sunday schools and youth organizations, in social action projects, in Torah study, even forming the USY, the United Synagogue Youth. In the late 1960s and into the 70s, feminist issues and the sheer force of sisterhoods spurred a re-examination of a woman's role in Judaism, counting in a minyan, having a Torah aliyah, leading the prayers. Culminating in the 1980s is advocating on behalf of the ordination of female candidates as rabbis and as cantors. Sisterhoods have matured into a network of approximately 500 women's clubs in North America and Israel, engaging hundreds of thousands of Jewish women each year, expanding members' knowledge and involvement, and enhancing synagogue life for everyone. Now, on the other hand, as with sisterhoods, the concept of synagogue-based brotherhoods, men's clubs, also arose in the Reform movement in the early 1900s. At the time, fewer and fewer young men, children of Jewish German immigrants, seemed ready to attend prayer services. As a strategy to attract and build social networks and these future leaders of American Jewish life, temples established men's clubs charged with providing leisure time, recreational, and social activities as an initial step for young men toward sanctuary and toward adult Torah study. Following World War II, synagogues experienced greater numbers of middle-aged men in men's clubs who became more and more involved in service projects within the temple's men's clubs, thereby became a new path toward temple lay leadership. Men's clubs have blossomed into a partnership of over 250 affiliated clubs with more than 20,000 members across North America and around the world, reaching hundreds of thousands of Jewish men each year too. The question, why sisterhoods and men's clubs, must be asked regularly to clarify the mission and purpose of each organization. As TBS moves through an ever-changing century in the life of American Jews, our auxiliaries create opportunities and points of access to the newcomer, the seeker, the lonely, and the volunteer among us. They are opportunities to teach and live a meaningful Jewish life in a world where we are a smaller percent of the population. And when these organizations function in a healthy way, as organizations of support, focusing on contentment, they engage our lives for the better. In a world where so many have Facebook friends, we need groups where people can engage in meaningful activities and interactions face to face. In a world where children and adults are often bullied and harassed, it is nice to have groups whose sole purpose is acceptance and connection. Men's clubs and sisterhoods are often called the arms of the temple. I'm so grateful for these two arms and pray that they continue to lend a hand to our Jewish life. Take the arm of sisterhood and the arm of men's club. You end up with a loving and supportive hug that strengthens our congregation and community in so many ways. Finally, thank you all for coming. It's so nice to see you all. Please enjoy the brunch and the programming to follow. And everyone is encouraged to remain until the conclusion of the morning's program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. We will be serving our food momentarily, and as always, don't forget to buy gift cards. Toby is somewhere. There. Yes. Right before Pesach. Timing is perfect. All right. Line up, eat, enjoy.